Hi, today we're going to talk about things, stuff, and whatchamacallits. So the first thing we want to do is we want to take an example of a thing. So one thing might be, let's look at a document. We're creating a sample document as our thing. And we'll go ahead and put some random text in here. Highlight some of it some way. Maybe take this over here, maybe make it bold. And then we're going to save it. So let's go ahead and save it to desktop. And then we're going to close it. So you see this here is our open document text.odt. So this stands for our basic open office text document. It's an ODT, which I believe stands for open document text. So if we open this up, it'll cause the application to open. Comes on open. Okay, we can see all the formatting, everything. We saved it again. Let's go ahead and close it one more time. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it and I'm going to rename it. I'm going to alter the file extension here. So it's no longer an ODT. I'm going to call it a .doc and just see what that does. Now it looks like a Microsoft Word doc. Now let's go ahead and rename it again. Now it thinks it's an image. So based on the file extension is how it goes ahead and interprets what application it is for, what kind of logo to give it, and how to open it. If I were to double click it right now, it would try and open it up as an image. And as you can see, it's having trouble opening it as an image because it's not actually an image. Now let's try changing this slightly again. Now it thinks it's a Word document. Let's open that. LibreOffice is the default application on this computer to open Word documents. So opened it thinking it's a Word document. Has all the formatting and everything still there. Very interesting. Now let's go ahead and change the name of it one more time. And then we'll do it one last time after this as well. So it tries to open it up as a basic text document and it doesn't work. So clearly it's not really a text document, it's a LibreOffice document, or in some contexts it's a open office document. So when we try to open it up, it's just a regular text header. It doesn't work. So it's not just pure text here. There's something else about this. So let's go ahead and rename it one more time, the file extension here. Now we changed it to a zip file. Let's go ahead and open up the zip file. And voila! Look at this. So we open it up as a zip file and we see it has all this content in here. So what we can determine from this is that LibreOffice or Microsoft Office does this as well. When you're creating a document in the Microsoft Office application or the LibreOffice application, it needs a place to actually store data about that document. Because a regular text file doesn't tell you things like the formatting of the text, what font, what color, things like that. So when you create a Word document and you save it, it actually writes files out to a compressed directory, this zip file here, and this becomes your Word document. So let's take a quick example of some things in here. So this is the thumbnail. When you're off on the left side and you have a thumbnail and you're scrolling through your Word document, this is what you're going to see. And this is an image that it takes of it. Let's go back. Let's look at the manifest information. So it's telling us a little bit about it here. It's an open document format from Oasis. So there's some metadata there. And let's take a look at configurations. What does it tell us about this here? It appears to be empty. Let's look at the content. So when it opens up this application, it'll probably look at the content.xml and it'll see things about the style and the font family. And that'll let the LibreOffice application or the Microsoft Word application know how to render that text so that it appears properly. So this is an XML file containing the content, and we can also see that it contains styles for the content as well. Let's look at this different styles.xml. More information about it. But basically, this is the Word document. It actually writes out these flat files here, XML files, and other XML files. Seems to use a lot of XML to style and contain the content of the document that you've written. And these XML files are then read in by the Microsoft Word application. It then renders it in the screen so that it looks all pretty and nice and neat. What we've seen here is very common for most applications in existence. Most applications that you use to do something with and then save a document or something somewhere has to usually follow this format. Now, there are a lot of other applications that use this, such as Java. We'll go ahead and write jar files and war files, and those would be considered to be a jar file, Java. Sorry. So jar stands for Java Archive Resource, if I could spell correctly here. A war file stands for Web Archive Resource. And just like a zip file, these go ahead and will open up in an archive. So for a zip, there's typically a .zip extension. For these Javas, it's a .jar extension. or a .war extension. Very similar to a .doc, .docx for Microsoft Office, and .odt for LibreOffice. The same can also be said for .xls for Excel. These are all actually just zipped files, and they're given these file name extensions at the end of the name to go ahead and designate what application is supposed to open them. So if you ever want to dig into the thing that you've created and see the stuff inside, the process that we just followed a little bit ago is how we would go ahead and do that. So let's go ahead and save that change. So this is our thing, our sample document. This is the stuff inside of it. And the file extension is what I like to refer as the whatchamacall. So a sample jar file would open up in a very similar fashion, and you would be able to go ahead and see the contents inside of it. So our thing, here's the stuff, and then the file extension is whatever you want to call it. And if you're creating a brand new program or application that saves content or data externally, and you want to keep it nice and neat and bundled together, you would usually want to put it in a zipped folder like this and write it out with a custom extension for the file name that would define what application is supposed to open it. And that's it for things, stuff, and thingamajiggies.